Okay, this shiur is dedicated Le'ilui Nishmas Rachalea Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. We're going to be doing questions and answers. First question. I can't daven in front of people. This is a problem because there are certain times when I can't help being in a somewhat public place when it's time to daven. Even if it's just at someone's house Friday night before the meal and all of the other women are davening, I just can't. I feel too self-conscious and I don't concentrate at all, so I just don't. I also don't like to bench in public. This is a problem, since at least 2 or 3 meals a week are with others. Do you think it's better to keep nothing until everyone leaves the table? Keep noshing until everyone leaves the table, which can sometimes take a very long time, and then bench? Should I bench in another room? Should I take a bit of food as a continuation of my meal into a different room and bench there? One of these might be a good temporary solution. I'm not sure, but do you also have any ideas on how I can get over this problem altogether? I've been this way forever. Thanks. Okay. I've heard of worse problems. So the reason I'm starting out this way, which I realize sounds extremely unsympathetic, is that this is, thank God, solvable and small. So the first thing you should do is thank God for that. So begin with the word can't. Obviously you can. What do I mean when I say obviously you can? Unless there's something wrong with you physically, chas v'shalom. Can you pick up a siddur? Are your arms strong enough to lift up the siddur? Open it up to the right page. Is your cognitive ability good enough to do that? And say the words. So it's not that you can't. So let's begin our dealing with this with taking the word can't out of the picture. So now I'm going to read the question as to what it really is. I don't believe my davening in front of people is good davening. I want to daven well, but I can't because I'm so self-conscious that I find myself focusing on the other people. That's the question. So, the solutions that you tried are not bad solutions. You find it hard to concentrate when people are there because you're focused on the people, so don't be with people. However, having said that, when you look at Mishnah, you have all these interesting suppositions. Could you daven on a horse? Could you daven on guard duty? Could you daven? Okay, a lot of these things are serious questions, which implies that you could daven in almost any circumstance, even though ideally you should be davening in a set structure, in a specific place, having cleared everything out so that you could focus. But the idea is as follows. If you speak to Hashem every day in your own words, if you try doing that, then eventually you're going to feel with Him all of the time. So you can't be with Him or not with Him. So when you're there, when you reach this point, which takes time but it happens, then you can't think for a moment that you could not daven because you're focused on someone else, because He's here. What do you mean you can't talk to Him? He's right here. How could you select to be focused on that person when Hashem's right here? So what I would suggest then is now a second thing. The first thing being take can't out of the picture, because can't in this picture is only self-defeating. You can. The question is how to do it with kavanah. So my first eitzah would be, speak to Hashem every day in your own words, in your own language, until you develop a stronger sense of His presence. The next thing is, I would say, certainly with benching, just do it. Sometimes an eitzah like that sounds like, you just do it. But the truth is, personally, I've seen there are 2 ways to start swimming when people go to the pool. One method is dive right in, And the other is like first you put in your toe and then you withdraw it. Then you put in your foot, but like just the sole, and you withdraw it. Then you go in down, up to your ankle. Okay? And it could take you a good 5 minutes to get into the water. Now that's my method. I'm not a just jump into the water person. I can't even relate to a just jump into the water person. It's cold. It's like, So it would be easier for me to say, start with saying at least a bracha in public, and then move to Al HaMichya, and then move to Birkat HaMazon. But I'm not telling you this. In this case, I'm saying just do it. And there's a reason for this, because I think the first thing you have to see is that you can. I'm very concerned about the word can't being used in this context. You can. The question is whether you will. Okay,